chicken time. Alright, welcome to Chicken Trials Part 11 this time around. We are going with the Dougster's recipe. Once again with a Claxton chicken. We're going to get to lopping this bad boy up here. We already had the grease on and it's around 300 degrees. So it'll be a while. But until then, we can go ahead and get this lopped up, and then we'll get next up to the ingredients. Alright, we are just got through chopping up the chicken, so we are going to be using 2 cups of buttermilk. Yeah, we're going to have to double this one. And we're going to be using the 2 eggs. Go ahead and get them in there. Recipe called for 1 cup of buttermilk with 1 cup of with 1 egg. We are going to double it, especially since we had the buttermilk and the eggs on standby. All right, we will whisk that on up in there and throw the chicken in momentarily. Here we go. I found something. Alright, we'll get all this on in there and we will get back to you working on the dry. Alright, we're just simply starting this out by putting in 2 cups of flour. Recipe called for 1, but we are going to be using the 2. We're just going to double up on everything. Alright, we got all of our spices and ingredients laid out here. In our 2 cups of flour here, we're going to be adding in 2 teaspoons of the oregano. We're going to be adding in 2 teaspoons of the chili powder. We only went with a 1/4 teaspoon of the sage. The recipe called for 1 teaspoon, but we're just scared of the sage in it. Usually it's so strong. We'll see how it is, you know. Next time, if it's this is real good, we'll double up on the sage and maybe crawl up and get a little braver. But anyway, 2 teaspoons of the basil, 2 teaspoons of the marjoram, 2 teaspoons of the black pepper, 4 teaspoons of the onion salt, and we went with 3 tablespoons of the paprika. The recipe called for 2. We're supposed to double it and use 4, but we only had about 3 tablespoons of that left. As you can see, pretty empty bottle. But we're hoping that 3 tablespoons will work for us, and that is going to be it for the dry ingredients. Alright, we got 350, so as usual over here, when they're pressure cooker gets to 350 degrees, I go ahead and start battering up the bird. That way you can do it a little slow, take your time, not have to rush. And usually the timing, like I said before, works out perfectly. I'll finish up these rest of these pieces, and when we get back with you, it should be ready to put in. Alright, we are at 375, and we were also wanting to mention here also that the thermometer in there like it is right now, touching the bottom, does not make a difference. We have experimented with that too. We had read a long while back from somewhere that some people said that if it touches the bottom, then it gives off a different temperature than if it's not touching the bottom. That was false. Now this oil here is still very, very new here. We've filtered it, and we've actually added a new oil as well, so we are not going to brown this as much, because it usually gets a little too brown with the oil, even though it's seasoned. Get my little wing piece over here for a tester piece. 40 seconds in.
Just check it with that new oil.
Yeah,
Brown real
right
quick with that.
We are going to go ahead and remove this and put the lid on.
Okay. That's how fast it browns with the new oil.
That's right. Okay.
Set timer.
Timer, we're going for 11 minutes. And we'll get back to you in 2 minutes.
Alright.
It just got 9 minutes down there, so it's been 2 minutes. We're going to just barely crack this valve. Okay, super barely cracked it, and we will get back with you in 9 minutes now. Well, 8 minutes and probably 30 seconds for the pulling of the chicken out. All right, we think it has about 30 seconds to go.
You got to bring your pan over here and your tongs.
I would have figured that out eventually.
Where your tongs? I see them.
I got them nearby.
Go time.
I like to go ahead and turn this straight on off or you won't forget. Oh, that baby's ready to pop.
We was over here in the kitchen and the valve did pop for a second.
Yeah, I tried to super barely open it this time. This is always about tests and trials. And that's what happened that time. Let us see what we're going to have here. If it's going to be a little too dark or what has happened. Get off there. Even with the valve popping, that's still not as dark as it was last time, I don't think. Leave that in for another second and find a smaller piece, a little thigh. Down boy. Totally skint down the leg there when I was trying to grab it. Whoopsie. And one more thigh. Alright, we're going to get this over here stationed on the other table and thermometer check it. Both of them done went up over one. Well, this one's 180 plus. I can't see this one. They look like over 170.
That's 180 over here too.
Oh, alright. Well, I can't read.
Okay.
Either way though, if you can get a up above look at it here, the coloring does not look as bad as I thought at all.
Looks good.
It actually had some light on there. Looks quite good.
Now I'm going to set the timer about 10 minutes where we can taste it while it gets scalded.
Yeah, that's always good. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes, actually 11 minutes. Let's see if she's cool enough to eat, and she should be. Taste test time. I want to get some skin, but I want to get some of the meat as well, and not half of the entire bird. Back off, beast. I think I'm gonna be sick. I'm kidding, of course. Actually, it's got a pretty good taste. That was for you, Dougster. Pretty good taste on that, but you never know till you really dig in. And that's what we're fixing to do. The results and the reviews will be coming up.